I haven't seen Evil Dead 2 yet. What would you think?
I'd think that you're a cinematic idiot, and I'd feel sorry for you.
All right. Why?
Because it's a brilliant film. It's so funny and violent, and the soundtrack kicks fucking ass. I never thought I'd say this, but can I go work now?
I saw the end of the world. I could feel all this death.
Jean, it was just a dream.
You wander through the willows in the forest you have found.
I've been called many things over many lifetimes.
Trying to hide.
Ram, Krishna, Yahweh.
Ever since the world found out about mutants, there have been secret societies who see them as some kind of second coming or sign of God. They believe that tens of thousands of years ago, an ancient being was born, the world's first.
Mutant. You are all my children. And you're lost. Because you follow blind leaders. But I am here now. I'm here for you.
Wherever this being was, he always had 4 followers he would imbue with power.
Like the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse. You got that one from the Bible.
Or the Bible got it from him.
What is it? Oh, God. He can control all of us. The world needs the X-Men.
That's why I'm here. To fight.
Not all of us can control our powers.
Then don't. This is war.
Everything they built will fall. And from the ashes of their world, we'll build a better one. I've never felt power like this before.
Welcome to another episode of What the Hell Did We Just Watch? I'm your host, Luis Vargas, as usual. And around the room, I have quite a big cast again of people. So if you can start from my left, please say who you are. And go ahead.
Hey, I'm Cindy.
Cindy. Cindy what? Okay, fine. Just pass it over.
I'm Karen.
Karen.
What up? This is Sean.
This is the not-so-good-looking John Zona.
Oh, yeah.
As you guys already know.
Once again, back on the episode. You were here on the last episode, right?
That's right.
That's right. So, but this one's actually a little different. This is What the Hell Did We Just Watch? But it's not a movie that I presented you from your home. Like, we didn't just finish watching a movie. What's different about this one is that we saw a movie in the theaters. Mm-hmm. Right? Yep. We saw a movie in the theaters, and I just want to talk about it. And so tell me, Karen, what the hell did we just watch?
Oh, X-Men Apocalypse.
X-Men Apocalypse, that's right. We saw X-Men Apocalypse over the weekend. That was what we watched. Now, I just want to go across the room. What did you think of the movie?
I liked it.
You liked it?
I thought it was fantastic. A great sequel to the last one.
Okay. John?
I liked it.
You liked it?
Yeah.
Cindy?
Yep, I definitely enjoyed it.
Okay. I actually liked it as well. I liked it. It's better than X3.
That's for sure. We had to try to forget that one.
The X-Men Last Stand, whatever. I did like it, but it doesn't. It has flaws. It has a lot of flaws for me. It has a lot of flaws.
Yeah, it does.
And this is where we're gonna segue. It's just a little small thing, but just before we jump on to something else, I just want to get a lot of really cool stuff cleared out. That Quicksilver scene.
Oh, I was the first one to
Holy
say
crap,
it.
Yo, he took it to the next level with that.
It's good that they
was
added a lot
so
more to
awesome.
him.
And not only that, but also his awesome fight sequence that he had with Apocalypse. Just before I realized what the hell just happened, because everything kind of slowed down. I'm like, what's going on? I know you've seen this guy punching this guy all over the place. He actually has his moment, and I'll even give it to them.
When he brought everybody outside the mansion.
Yeah. I thought it was, oh my God, when he brought everybody outside the mansion, I was like, it was literally the kitchen scene from Days of Future Past, but like to the 10th power.
Yeah.
I got a kick out of the dog when he saved the dog.
Yeah.
I got a kick with everybody because you could tell how fast he is. And giving that notion of how fast he is, I thought was just pretty awesome.
Yeah.
I love that. His sense of space is very awesome. Everybody, I think, did great. It was a lot of fun
They
to
casted
watch.
a good person for Storm, I thought.
For Storm, that young chick, yeah, I thought she was cool. That she has a better accent than Halle Berry does. Being Storm.
Yeah.
Because she doesn't have an
I
accent.
gotta
If you
agree.
remember, she doesn't have an accent.
She was a really good Storm. I thought she
Uh-huh.
was like, I was about to go into that movie and ask her out on a date. Like,
Even with that mohawk, with that
Yeah,
80s
I
mohawk
don't
she
give
had.
a damn. That mohawk could turn into a long hair, like.
Yeah, yeah, eventually, right?
Yeah.
She was cute. I don't know none about her. What I like is that the people that they picked in this movie, I don't know who
Especially
they are.
Jean Grey. They really casted
The
someone
girl
great.
Jean Grey, that girl I do know. She's Sansa from Game of Thrones. That's where she's from.
gotta see
That's
that
Sansa
show.
from Game
Yeah,
of Thrones.
I'm
A lot
on.
of people,
I'm on the episode that I didn't watch. The seasons that I never watched. Or the show that I never watched.
She actually is one of the main characters. She's one of there's a family called the Stark family.
Yeah.
She's one of the daughters of the entire show, so she's a big deal. Where she goes is a big deal. Where she is, where I'm at, believe it or not, I've never seen the show until recently. I'm on season 2. I'm about to finish season 2, and she's still important. So
Yeah.
meaning so she's in it. I can tell you this much. I know she's not dead yet. People spoil too much, but I know she's not dead yet in Game of Thrones. But that doesn't really matter because we're not here for Game of Thrones. Anyway.
Yeah.
We're here for X-Men Apocalypse, and but we can go all around the board and say that. I mean, were there any other scenes that you guys liked other than the Quicksilver scene? Like
The
was there something
Logan scene.
Yeah.
that little Logan scene. You ever notice that this is the year of the cameos?
That was a very big cameo. I think that was a
Yeah.
very important cameo. On top
Oh yeah,
of that.
totally. There's definitely his presence, though it wasn't needed in the entire film, but seeing him in it was definitely a need. I wanted to see.
I thought the Magneto scenes were really great. Like how they show, he's trying to be normal,
Yeah.
trying to fit in with humans, and then you see his
Yeah.
family get killed.
Yeah.
And then he tears everybody apart just by a necklace, just
Yeah.
to show how powerful
Yeah,
his power
it reminded
is.
me of the First Class scene when he took the quarter and put it through that guy's head.
Yep.
I was like, oh my god, that's like all over again. But it was so good.
You see
Yeah,
the
that
original
was a very
X-Men
intense scene
movies,
right
but
there.
you see more of Magneto
Mhm.
and more of his power compared to the older ones.
Yeah, yeah.
Now
yeah,
I'm gonna be the depresso one, to speak about
What you liked
my
about
favorite.
it.
Yep, my favorite. One of my favorite parts is the fact that they're still touching bases on the whole political aspect of X-Men. How they still have to keep someone in hiding or not really showing who they really are because people are just not really accepting them yet. And it shows in that scene with Nightcrawler when they threw him into the cage and he's like,
Oh,
you
with
have to
Angel.
fight or they're gonna kill us both.
That's what
And
Angel said.
and
yeah.
he whispers
If you don't
that to
fight,
him,
we'll
like
kill us both.
meaning he probably didn't even want to. He didn't want to do that, but it was like he's forced to go against his own kind just to save their
Himself.
own behinds, basically. So I like that they're still keeping with that.
Well, it wouldn't be X-Men if there weren't any political issues about what
of
they are
course.
versus humans. I would not accept a movie where it's just them and no friction between people.
Yeah,
And,
X3.
Like in X3, yeah, there was only a smidge.
Yeah, it was like a very.
It was a
tight
smidge,
bit.
but it wasn't really there.
I mean, the only thing from X3 actually I liked is they brought Phoenix in, but that was about
Yeah,
it.
they told the Dark Phoenix saga.
Besides that, I was not. No,
Yeah.
I think the last 3 X-Men movies really upped its game compared to Last Class.
Definitely. But I guess we could say that all I wanted to talk about was what we liked about it.
Yeah.
In the what the hell did we just watch part of the show.
Yeah.
But I guess now we can kind of segue into this other kind of segment that I want to give birth to, and this segment is what It's called Real Talk Rants. Thanks to my girlfriend Cindy, who came up with the name, and I said, "Oh my God, yo, I like that name. I'm going to build something around that. Like, what would it be about?" And this is actually what it's about. I have sometimes I have certain issues with something. Nothing is to me, and I love movies, and you know, Sean is already getting to know that about me. I'm getting to know that a lot about Sean. You know, John, you know me as well. We have a lot of things in common, us three. Star Wars being one of those things.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Can't
But
forget
when it
Hey,
comes,
don't forget me with our dog Vader.
I have a dog named Vader. I think that kind of sums it up there. But basically, what Real Talk Rant is, I'm gonna say something that I want to get off my chest. You know, something that I only want to talk about, not only just people who saw the thing, but also I feel that we'll know what the heck I'm talking about. And I don't care if you totally disagree with me. I don't care if you agree with me. I want you to just tell me what you feel about what I'm about to say. You know, you guys don't know what I'm about to say, right? Did I tell you before the show?
No.
Did I tell you before the show?
Unless you're Jean Grey, I don't think nobody
Exactly.
can know.
Unless you're Jean Grey and you're putting your fingers on your brain.
Or Xavier.
Or Xavier, exactly. But here's what it is, and I'm going to let it all out. As a franchise, I can't stand the X-Men franchise. I have so much beef with it. Here's the easy thing that I have with it. The easiest thing. They disrespect the continuity of their movies, and they shit on what they do before just so they can tell a better story keeping moving forward. And Apocalypse did that same thing as well, though it was very small. It really, like, I wanted to, like, throw my phone across the movie theater.
Explain further, please.
Yeah, sure. We all seen Days of Future Past. We also know what the ending of Days of Future Past entailed, right? Once I'm talking about not the scene where they show them when they show Logan in the future and all that. It was the scene where Wolverine was taken out of the water.
Okay, yeah.
Right? And you got all those like seamen and Commander Strikers there, and he's like, "What do you want us to do with him?" And he says, "I know what to do with him," or something like that. And he kind of like looks towards camera, and his eyes go yellow. Am I wrong? Did we not see that? And after the movie ended, what did we suspect? Oh my God, that's not Stryker. That's this girl. That's Mystique.
Yeah, Mystique.
You know, and I'm like, yeah, man, what's up with that? Oh my God, I can't believe it. Okay, fast forward to now in X-Men Apocalypse. What happened to that? Commander Stryker looked pretty normal to me when we saw him, right?
You have a very solid point there.
You understand what I'm saying?
Wow.
And
I
in my mind, I
completely
was
like forgot all about what they did there. Just
what
did
the
something
hell
else.
is that all about? You understand what I'm saying? It's like, and it goes a little deeper here. It's not just that, because that's just a smidge of what I have a problem with the franchise itself. In X-Men, in the first X-Men movie back in 2000, there's a scene where Wolverine, Logan, he first gets introduced to everybody. He's talking to Professor X, and he gets told to him about this man named Magneto. Professor X starts talking like this whole thing, like, I met him when I was 19, I think it was, or 17, or something like that. He met him when he was young, and they've been friends ever since. We see X-Men First Class.
Okay.
They completely shot the bed there. Like, what? It's like, why can't... What I'm trying to say is, Fox, or whoever it is that is manipulating that story, whoever idea it is to do everything, and this includes all the stories, except for the first three, even though X3 to me was not amazing, it's not great, 1, 2, and 3 continue just fine, because it was in the same space. But once they went to say, yo, let's reboot this thing, they wanted to reboot it with the old cast too, at least with the old cast in mind. You know what I mean? So
Which
they
was
started.
a smart idea in a sense.
Which is a fine idea.
Yeah.
When you're hearing it on paper and you're hearing the idea of it, it's like great. But my problem is, and I'm gonna stop right there. I'm gonna ask a question. I'm gonna say, why do you think was it a good idea for them to change that part of the past in First Class where he meets Magneto, Eric, whatever? Why didn't he meet him the way that he said in X-Men, in the first X-Men movie back in 2000? Like, why did they have to do it differently?
You got me there.
I
you
got
definitely got me there.
But they
that was
do
a very well thought out question.
Mm-hmm.
They do stick to a lot of things. Like I was interested in the Stryker Logan thing. I wanted to see because you've seen X2 and actually it starts really good, but that's as far as it really goes. I wanted to see further into the origins of that. That's why I got excited when they brought both of them in there, and then they just like completely.
I was completely on board with that, with the whole origins thing. Like when you again, you see it on paper, you see that trailer, you're like, oh, I'm so invested in that. I so want to see that.
It's spoiler free, but after the credits, it gets you a little excited about what they're gonna do.
Of course, like but the thing that really upset me was like those little tidbits, because I like, when I sit down, and you're telling us this is a part of the universe of X-Men. Okay, you getting that. Now, when you're making this movie, and you're literally going against, or maybe you're forgetting, or maybe you're just saying, I don't care. And that's the worst thing to say when you're writing sequels. How they meet, or how Professor X said that he met him. And then the fact that he doesn't meet him like that, not even a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like,
exactly.
what?
And it's crazy because First Class is all about how they met, too.
Yeah.
Which is insane. Like, the fact that you just brought that up, it's like, now we're comparing the two. It's like, it has nothing. There's no, it's completely different. Nothing similar.
Now, let me just go real quick. I'm just going to tell you how I feel about all the movies in order. I was actually 21 when the first X-Men came out. I mean, how old were you guys? Did you see X-Men in 2000?
Yeah, no, I actually saw it in the theaters.
Like, I don't know, 12?
Yeah,
in 2000?
I
was 21. I was 21 when the X-Men, and now let me tell you the past real quick. In 2000, in X-Men, there was no real superhero movie done, and it's been like a decade. We only really had Batman from '89 and Batman Returns.
We had Superman
too. And we had Superman. That's all we really had. Marvel really wasn't doing anything. Not yet. Marvel actually hasn't done anything since the 70s when it came to movies. Yes, they have some movies they did in the 70s.
Come a long way.
Oh yeah.
Even DC too. DC, Marvel, they both come.
Yeah, but in terms of like believe it or not, Marvel was in a position where they just could not. At that time, they could not get anything right. Like
well,
they were
got the cartoons right.
The cartoons at that moment they were getting right.
Yeah, that was.
They were totally getting that right. But in X-Men in 2000, believe it or not, this is actually not arguably said. In 2000, when X-Men came out and it was successful, though there were some things I hated about it, but you deal with the movie version of something and the cartoon version of something, or even the comic book version of something. Especially when they kind of tell you, it's not like, for instance, you guys remember that part in X-Men where he goes, you guys go, when Wolverine was like, you guys go out like this? And what did Cyclops say? Everybody remember? What did Cyclops say?
This is when they put the suits on, right?
Yeah, and they're in the plane. They're about to leave. Does anybody remember what Cyclops says to him just before they take off? I know I'm really taking a to the past.
Yeah.
Well, he said, well, what were you expecting? Yellow tights?
Yeah, as a reference to his.
And I remember watching that scene, and I said to myself, you know what? He's right. At that time in 2000, mind you, it's 2000, Wolverine would have looked stupid. I'm talking about in the Wolverine way.
Well, yeah, the cartoon was obviously.
Outfit and the thing sticking out of his head. He was going to look stupid.
That's true.
Cyclops would have looked stupid in that blue with the cross yellow thing.
I think they're not going to look like how they did back in the day.
No, not at all. At that time, you just, no. Like, I'm going to be honest with you, like, there were a lot of people who would have been turned off by that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mind you, it was been a long time since a comic book movie came out, like almost 10 years, if not 10 years. Nobody, at that time, also, superhero movies was like a novelty. You made one, it was run and dash.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's how it was. So when you made it, you kind of try to finesse it and try to make it look a little, I guess, quote unquote, realistic. So that way it doesn't look so stupid. I think the only person that would have actually made the outfit look good if they gave her the actual outfit, because she almost had it, the whole entire thing, was Storm. Her outfit was almost actually 100%. The only difference is that her outfit was black.
What I did like is in this one they shot a lot more of this interesting story of Nightcrawler compared to X2.
Oh yeah.
He was alright.
Because he was just there. Because he was just there.
They showed how his power was good, how he could help. I mean, if it wasn't for Nightcrawler, they would have been captured and not even let go.
That's also my other beef right there, of continuity.
With Nightcrawler?
Yeah. Jean Grey has a scene in X2 that talks to Nightcrawler.
Yeah.
They don't know who the hell he is from a hole in the wall.
Yeah, because they just see him teleporting. You know what I'm saying? Like, they see him, like, when they're doing the whole cerebral thing. It was like, oh, he's there. Oh,
He's
no,
teleporting around the room.
Yeah.
So, and then in this movie, Apocalypse, they're meeting them for the first time. It's the 80s. It's like literally 20 years before.
It was like 83 or something.
Yeah,
like that,
it's
right?
20
Yeah.
in movie timeline. It's 20 years before. But they actually can fix that because of Days of Future Past. They changed stuff, so you know what I mean, and that's where I accept that, and that's fine. But my beef is more from X1, 2, and 3, X-Men Origins, The Wolverine, and First Class. Anything before Days of Future Past is regular timeline. Days of Future Past, I feel like changed everything because they changed the Sentinel stuff. So history has been changed, right? So that way things can happen differently, though it will happen the same. Which you can still see a lot of it in Apocalypse. A lot of things are happening that's the same. You got Cyclops and Jean Grey. They met when they were young because obviously in X-Men 1, the first X-Men movie, they're already a couple. They're already X-Men. You know, veteran X-Men at that.
Yeah,
They're X-Men.
They were like already teachers.
Exactly, exactly. So like they have no room for improvement of learning. So
Yeah.
you get to meet them here, and I guess it's really cool for Nightcrawler to jump in now because I think that's where that anomaly is, where it's like history was changed, but it will still kind of find its way to fix itself, you know, a little bit. You know what I mean? And I'm totally fine with what happened in X-Men. There was just smidges, and that's where I have a problem with Days of Future Past. Excuse me, Days of Future Past to Apocalypse. Just that one thing, the ice thing, Stryker.
That was the fact that you mentioned that, and I've been thinking about it since you mentioned it.
It's kind of bothering you now, right?
It's really bothering me now because it's like maybe Mystique kind of let it happen. If you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but where'd she go?
My whole point, like I'm just thinking about it now. It's like
so, like, did she help Stryker out? Here, take him,
Yeah,
and then
possibly.
like let Stryker deal with the rest.
Possibly, maybe she was pissed
You know what?
off with him.
Even if the reason was that stupid, it would have been nice to see it. Because then I would have excused it. Oh, okay, that's why Mystique, this chick, she didn't.
Maybe like that's why she was like she disappeared.
Mhm.
Like in the
She
beginning.
did disappear. Like
in
in Apocalypse, she's gone, or she's been rogue.
Yeah, she's
like,
been like
around. Helping mutants.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying. Like maybe that's where she's like just she comes back and Professor X is like, whoa. Hey there, haven't seen you in a while. You know, like it's been like 10 years. You know.
At least they finally cut the part when he loses his hair and stuff. So now you know things.
I like that. I do like
the
that
part
because,
at the ending when you see him like
when he's like doing the transference and stuff,
Yeah.
and that like craziness made him lose his hair.
Yeah,
I thought that was pretty cool.
He really looks like Professor X
I will
now.
say
Like,
though,
down to
he
a T.
does. The only thing I have to say is Apocalypse was great, but I wish they showed a lot more Apocalypse. I mean, they shot some great scenes, but they should have showed a lot more. Like maybe stuff he could do. Like the whole movie is just him picking the
that
group.
was also kind of disappointing. He didn't do anything.
All he did was recruit.
He recruited and was preparing something that we actually didn't get to see come to pass.
I
would have said like
that's
they
my
should
beef
have
with
shown
it.
more. Like me when he recruited everybody, got and controlled everybody. You should have showed them doing some destruction.
Yeah. You got to see.
nothing.
You got to see this kind of shape forming, but you never really got to see anything.
Just a little kidnapping. That's
it would
all
have
we
been,
saw.
like it would have been nice. You know what? Let me stop there, John Zona. Go right ahead. Like let's speak about it. We can speak about that right now.
Well,
no,
it's the
Apocalypse.
ending. It's the ending that kind of just. Now I'm just like, okay, I hope they do it right. Because I feel like in the movie, they really did not show Apocalypse's true power. Like I didn't fear him. You get what I'm saying? I didn't fear Apocalypse.
I just kind of like, oh wow, like he's shaping something. It's like he's doing something. He's getting something done, and it's gonna like take shape. And I can't wait to see what at least a little bit. Obviously, evil has to get punished. So obviously he will get defeated in this movie. But will we get to see him actually have something where he's actually winning for a
exactly.
I mean,
like
Xavier was more of a threat than he was.
Did he not win?
Xavier?
Like he didn't win at all.
Xavier was
not even a little.
the biggest threat to him. I mean, he should have been. You should have seen Xavier like fearing for his life. Xavier, it looks like he was more of a threat to Apocalypse because Apocalypse didn't do nothing. But the whole movie, all he did was like recruit people, and he should have been having Magneto destroying everything. You should have made you like really have that fear in him, but he didn't do nothing. He was just like he was barely shown.
They had a little power struggle at the end. That's it. That was all it was.
Professor X and
Like Professor X and with Magneto and
Yeah.
Cyclops, and you know how he was just standing there, he was like controlling everybody. He's like, okay, Cyclops, sit down for a second. Magneto, what the hell are you doing? Take your little metal toys, go over there. And he was winning for just 2 seconds. Then all of a sudden, Phoenix had to go and explode everywhere. And then what happens with Apocalypse?
Yeah.
Now, I don't want to I don't
Just
want
let you know, we can spoil.
Oh, we
This
can
is totally
spoil?
Fine. No, this is
we
not
can spoil.
a spoiler.
Let's talk
Quick
about
X.
the post credit scene that really got me. Now I'm pissed.
Oh, I can actually tell you about the post credits.
Okay, I'm gonna tell you about it right now. Actually,
But wait,
if I
before
can.
we go
Okay.
there, let me just add one more thing about Apocalypse. I actually will give him this. I love this performance.
Yo, he
had
did
me
a
on
wonderful.
board the entire time.
Absolutely.
I loved his shape forming. I actually
Yeah,
loved
definitely.
how he was influenced everybody. He says, I'm gonna help you tap into this power that you have, and
Exactly.
I'm gonna tenfold it. Yeah, and,
Like-
and it, for me it worked, but this is actually my small smidge issue with that. In the comics or in the cartoons, the way he got his 4 horsemen, yes, he amplified their powers, and their powers were literally tenfold, but he also brainwashed them because the people that he got were mostly good guys.
Yeah.
Like, believe it or not, Wolverine was a 4 horseman in the comic book.
In the comic book.
Yeah, so I'm saying he became
Yeah.
in one series. He is a 4 horseman, so that goes to show you that and he obviously doesn't go on the side of evil unless he gets influenced. But they weren't influenced.
No,
They basically followed him out of their own free will.
they were convinced.
Yeah. Is it because maybe they felt they owed him something?
No,
Like,
no,
he
it was-
tapped into this. He
it was
made
the
them
fact-
tap into this power that they didn't think they had.
It was the fact that he kind of promised them, oh, the mutants should be running the world, not these weakling humans.
And I totally get that.
Yeah. So
You know?
like for example,
And
let's.
seemed like a father figure to them.
Yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
He was definitely like a father figure to these guys.
Yeah, definitely. Like he also, when they were pointing out the fact that he's like, look, all these humans, they need all these weapons and everything. They're like on another class. They have their own powers. They don't need what regular humans were building and destroying
Yeah.
amongst each other. So
Yeah, because what Magneto did in Auschwitz, holy shit.
Yeah,
And they still
that's one
reference
thing.
that.
Speaking of which, I was just mentioning it to him that I love that because it's kind of almost scientific as Magneto controls metal and the Earth is completely like what does not have metal? Like I mean,
Well, what I like is that he
his
showed him.
power was
He's
so
like, look, you have this power. You know how to use it. But what if I told you that one little thing you actually weren't thinking about, you can actually do?
Yeah, like,
Which
it's
was
like
like
it
he says,
amplified.
the Earth has metal.
Yeah.
Why don't you get that out of there? And he's like, what? But it's like that's, and I actually like that. Actually, I'll give him credit for it. I'm actually kind of upset that I didn't see that for Storm. They didn't do that for Storm. Meaning, like, he said it, but, like, he kind of showed Magneto. We got that scene where he showed Magneto. I would have loved to see Storm get shown what she can do with her powers, and also Psylocke. And then also, well, Angel we saw.
Yeah.
What he was able to do. He took his injury, which his wing, he lost it. It was crap. He gave him these indestructible wings.
But look how powerful he was, though. When
Apocalypse?
Apocalypse.
Mhm.
But that's the thing. I feel
Yeah,
like
go ahead.
they did not touch base on how truly powerful Apocalypse is in the movie.
It's just more
I
like
agree.
how
I agree
powerful-
with John. Yeah,
I
definitely.
agree. It was more like how powerful his influence is.
Yeah,
That's what
exactly.
I thought you
Yeah,
said.
that's
that's
basically-
what
Which
that's
was very
why
strong. Like, even I would have joined him.
I loved I love the movie, but I kind of left, disappointed just a tad bit because it's like, okay, this is X-Men Apocalypse. There was Apocalypse.
Barely
is-
any scenes.
Apocalypse is so it's so strong that even in the comics there was a storyline called the Age of Apocalypse.
Mm-hmm.
He had his own age, it took place
Like,
in the future.
What's funny? That was actually supposed to be the original title of this movie, but because Age of Ultron came out, there was like, we can't do this age of. We can't just give everybody this age of something. You know what I mean? So there was like, we'll call it Apocalypse.
But it's true though. Like he should have been more powerful. They should have showed him what he could do and everything. I swear, all he was really doing was just
They
recruiting.
gave him they gave him a
that's-
very
Sean is
smidge.
right.
They gave him a smidge of powerfulness. Because if you remember, when they were all attacking him, Magneto, Cyclops, nothing was getting through. He had like this ball of protection, and he's like, "Oh, whatever, man. You're not doing nothing to me."
Be honest, the only
Quicksilver, like again, we'll go back to Quicksilver. He had that awesome scene where he was like,
I was just
running,
thinking this.
I was
punching
just gonna
the
say the
crap out of
punching part.
Apocalypse, catching him off guard. But what happened?
Yeah, he caught on.
Once he was able to like figure out what the heck was going on, which I'll give him credit. Oh my God, he went into Apocalypse and he actually did some really cool damage that there's no way you can.
I will
not
say
enjoy
he was
that.
like the out of all the mutants that made a big impact. I think Quicksilver was the one that really made an impact.
Amazing.
Yeah, I'm really happy that they gave him like a bigger part.
Him
now.
and Jean
Now he's
Grey.
becoming a
And I
big
kind of
part
was a
it.
little disappointed on how they only showed Apocalypse growing mentally, if you
Yeah.
think about it.
and not physically.
And we all know.
I got
as
excited. I
comic
thought he was
lover-
gonna grow.
As comic lovers here.
Oh, we got the
Like-
growth, but we got it in Dreams.
But that's
in
not
a
what we
dream
wanted to
state,
see.
But,
We got him in
but
Dream State
in actuality, though, he's able to grow heights. Like you're just like, holy crap! What?
Yeah.
Now how are we gonna fight him?
Mhm.
You know, like
you know what it is. You know why they didn't do that? I believe, meaning in the real world, because they did do it, but they did it like more of like metaphorically.
Yeah.
Like metaphorically, he was bigger than life. You know, so they did it in kind of like this dream sequence kind of like thing, and that's fine. But I think that they wanted to take, because one of the things that X-Men is, and this is again where I have a problem. This is gonna go right into like my problem pile. They have not gotten out. Let's keep it realistic mentality.
Yeah.
Where every other comic book movie right now is literally going the comic book way in terms of telling their story. And I don't mean just story in general, but like the way that we see the characters, the way that they are in all their movies. Man of Steel, Batman vs Superman, Civil War, you know what I mean? Like, even Suicide Squad, when it comes out, like, it screams, oh my god, here's the comic book. Oh my god, they're gonna do all these kind of, like, impossible things.
Yeah.
And it can be in the same movie. It doesn't have to be in a dream sequence. And
But-
Ant-Man went big in Civil War.
I was just
That's
gonna
what I'm
say
saying.
that
Yeah.
you could have if they have the balls to have Ant-Man go all the
Mhm.
way huge.
Yeah.
You could have Apocalypse do that and make a more of a threat. Show how powerful he really
I almost
is.
kicked my shoes off in excitement because I saw that. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, finally.
I love it because they showed it like just a little bit into Civil War. I loved when he went big because the way it looked like it was like those 1950s movies when anybody went big. He had like the bulging eyes, like, oh my god, I'm huge.
He's like, oh.
Like War Machine, like War Machine did.
Exactly. Like I was just like, what the heck, yo? It felt very 50s. It felt very like when you watch like those weird animal, those old 50s horror movies or science fiction movies when they make people do all these weird things, science experiments and
Yeah.
stuff like that. But back to X-Men, because like I'm saying, we're gonna have a comic book discussion. That's gonna be like a real talk round of that in the future. Trust me when I tell you, I am like gonna go.
Stay tuned,
Stay
ladies and
tuned for
gentlemen.
other for episodes, but strictly on X-Men and just bitching about this franchise and how much it really annoys me. You know what I mean? Because they got so much good stuff.
I want to let loose. Like,
You know,
when-
exactly.
When you let me let loose, I'm gonna let loose. But
Yeah, I'm
it's
telling
not-
you, and like, because come on, Sean, I know you on Facebook. You said that the movie was phenomenal, and that's great. Trust me when I tell you, there's nothing more than
I give it like an 8 out of 10 to be
loves him.
honest.
But there's got to be something in that movie that when you saw it, you were like a little bit. In
Mostly it
your
was
mind, that you were like,
Apocalypse
what
stuff.
the
I wanted to
hell
see
is
the more
this?
powerful side of him, and I
Yeah.
feel like
Exactly.
nothing.
I'm actually gonna give it a 7 out of 10.
Yeah,
You know,
Like,
the
you
reason
get-
why I gave it an 8 out of 10. I don't know if you saw it on my Facebook.
I saw that.
It was gonna be a 7, right? But I gave it an 8, and it was like kind of like a 1 point for effort, because Bryan Singer, for the most part, he gave me what I wanted to see, even though that he could have gone farther. You understand what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
the thing is, I mean, because I'm not gonna start blaming people. One of the things also, Sean, I don't know if you know this, but the X-Men universe, Marvel doesn't do those movies.
Oh yeah, it's all Fox.
Yeah, it's all Fox.
Sadly.
So I don't know, like they're doing something where it's like, is it because they have? I think the movies are done by a committee. That's the word that I'm trying to
But
say.
hey, it's not a Marvel movie without Stan Lee cameo.
Yeah, it's not
Yeah.
and he was there.
Well,
He definitely was there. It was
Wasn't
fun
no
seeing him
Deadpool
there.
stripper
All day
DJ.
Looking at the thing.
Well, here's my thing. Besides the whole Apocalypse not getting his justice, you know, as far like that's how I feel. He just didn't have his justice, especially how. Now here's my thing, and I mean, you guys could agree with me. I mean, I'm just saying. The way it ended, the way, you know, Apocalypse went was not boss-like at all.
The way he died.
The way
That was
he
such a
died.
Nintendo ending.
Now you think he died, but look now.
I think
can
he's
I
dead, unfortunately.
can
I
I
think
spoil the post-credit scene?
We'll spoil it. Spoil it, 'cause
Okay.
I wanted to talk
Now
about that part too.
let's talk about how the spoil credit scene. You see the Weapon X blood, which is Wolverine's blood.
Where these guys in suits that come out, they're walking all
And you
lost
see-
like,
and you
looking
s-
all like freaking like. you know, the
Yeah.
Crazy 88s from Kill Bill.
Yeah, exactly.
They're only missing that song. And yeah, that one guy, he goes in.
Yeah.
He go into like a refrigerated area.
Yeah.
And they take a vial that says Weapon X.
Yeah.
On it, and they take it along with like 2 other colored.
We could
vials.
yeah we could only assume that it's Wolverine's blood, which
Yes,
it
but you know he is Weapon X. Wolverine is actually Weapon
yeah.
X. We know
yeah,
this.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like it is his blood.
Now,
it has to be his blood.
Now let me ask you this: do you know? Well, we saw look, real quick just to continue just the scene. First of all, that Wolverine, wasn't that the most violent Wolverine
out of all the
scenes
Wolverines.
ever?
I love that scene.
I'm like, what the hell? Like even when you see the dead bodies, when you saw those dead bodies, there were like people's heads cut off.
Yeah.
There was like an arm behind someone's back that
Yeah.
was cut off, and I'm like,
We're
wow,
t-
this is actually the most horrible.
While we're talking about Wolverine, there's one thing. There was an interview last year, him saying he's only wants to do Wolverine. Hugh Jackman, who was like one of the best Wolverines we have, obviously, saying he only want to do it one more time. However, the way they ended this, I want to see a whole nother thing with him. I don't want to.
This is actually my question, real quick, and we'll answer it after we talk about this scene. Is Hugh Jackman said that he's only got 2 movies. One, which he's just finished right now, Apocalypse,
and
he's got Wolverine 3, which everybody's
Old
already
Man
guessing.
Logan.
It's Old Man Logan and all this and that.
Yeah, but
cool.
we want to see
now,
this.
I'm actually gonna throw one more thing. But this is what's funny. Fox came out and said there will be another X-Men movie, which will take place in the 90s, 10 years after this movie. Now, I'm just going to let it sink in. I'm going to ask the question. We're going to go back to that finale. How can we make another X-Men film, takes place in the 90s and no Wolverine? But hold on to that, because Hugh Jackman said he's done. But we're going to talk about, real quick, because I want you guys to kind of like simmer on to that answer. Like have an answer, but I'm gonna speak to you right now. So we see in the post-credit scene, these guys, they take the vials and they leave and they close the suitcase. And what do we see in the, that it says right?
Yeah, Sex.
Essex Corporation.
Yeah.
Right. Does anybody know what that is?
Yeah, it's Mr. Sinister.
Mr. Sinister.
Yeah, but here's my problem though. This is exactly my problem, because it's like, how do we get Mr. Sinister?
Well, I can tell you this much: if we were able to get Apocalypse, like I want to say 80% accuracy of what Apocalypse looks like, would you agree? Like if you look at Apocalypse,
I actually like that Apocalypse though.
Yeah,
the way that he
like
looked
the way
was
he
really
looks,
good.
like
yeah,
his movie version, because X-Men has always kind of been kind of shitty with portraying the way that they're.
I don't know. The comic version looked really cool.
But who had the most influence on Mr. Sinister?
Who?
Yeah.
Well,
Apocalypse.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I totally get what you're saying. Do you think he might revive him?
Here's my problem though. Like,
Mr. Sinister is a one cool looking dude.
He is. He's
Black
he's
Cave,
very.
he looks like Colossus a little bit with a little triangle.
Yeah,
on his
he's
head.
very boss. He's very boss.
But do you think we're gonna get a human version of him? I vote yes, because X-Men just does that.
I'm gonna be pissed off if we do.
Or even if we get, I'll accept
Very
a little bit of a human version of him, and then, but you know what? They're gonna do it in like the ending, where he gets like the silver look.
I can't.
Why can't he just
stand
be like the way Apocalypse was? He was Apocalypse 100%, almost 100%.
Yeah.
We got like 5 minutes of him not being Apocalypse. We did. We got a guy that was Apocalypse as well. Where because the way that they do it is that he keeps transferring power.
Oh yeah,
that's actually something accurate to the comic book.
I just want to ask these guys. Oh, I'll let you go.
No, I'm sorry. I think I cut you off. But the whole thing about I'm gonna go backtrack now. Back to Apocalypse. To me, it's like I'm still thinking about what Sean and John said. Like, what the heck? Why wasn't he shown to his full potential? Like, I'm still thinking about that because it gets me angry that he was just. You're talking about a mutant who literally is generation upon generation, has every single power,
like
and he's just
interview.
like he's gone in a matter.
I have one simple answer for that, and it's actually 2 letters and a number, PG and 13. That's
true.
Oh, I just thought it was laziness.
A lot of it actually is laziness, just like the thing with the eyes from Days of Future Past, and it not carrying over to this. This is just straight up laziness. This is not this isn't like some like ploy they were like, hey, we're gonna we're just gonna sit on this for later. You know, that's lazy.
Yeah.
They never go back to anything and fix a mistake, except for one mistake, and that was killing off Cyclops and Jean Grey, which I'm very happy about.
Now I want to ask you guys
Days of
something.
Future Past,
And Deadpool, they elaborate more with some X-Men, not the whole thing, but I'm thinking, when will we see all of them together with
I actually have an answer for that too, but go ahead, John.
We actually discussed this.
Yeah, I guarantee you, and I hope that they do this. there will be no crossover to Deadpool into the X-Men franchise.
Oh yeah, but I'm talking about the two X-Men that we
Now,
we got to see that
This is
excitement.
what I'm gonna see. No, but that's what I'm trying to say. I personally don't think that Deadpool will go over to the X-Men movies. I think X-Men will be thrown into Deadpool, so they can show the different versions of them. Meaning, because Deadpool is rated R, you can't put a rated R character in a PG-13 movie.
Though,
You're gonna lose a lot of sauce. That's also the same problem that Daredevil will have if they put him into the X-Men. I mean, into the Marvel Cinematic Universe. He's rated R. He busts ass. His characters are very evil. Or even Kingpin. Like, don't expect Kingpin to fight Spider-Man in Spider-Man: Homecoming or any Spider-Man movie because everybody will be pissed off that we're not getting this ruthless Kingpin that we saw in Daredevil. You're gonna dumb him down. Trust me.
You know us. We had that conversation about that Kingpin.
You know, that's 100% fact. Come on, Vince D'Onofrio. There's no way Vince D'Onofrio is gonna undersell Kingpin just so he can be in a Spider-Man movie.
Yeah. Well, I did hear rumors that Michael Keaton was going to be playing Vulture. That looks to be really good.
I'm on board for that. Definitely.
I've been waiting for
Michael
Vulture
Keaton
to be in the
would
big
actually kill it
screen.
as Vulture. I just hope he don't look like Birdman though.
Oh no. We can all forget about that for a minute.
But yeah, no, like back to the thing with Mr. Sinister. Go ahead, John.
Yeah, I'm just saying, like, with the whole Mr. Sinister thing, you know, I feel like they can't kill off Apocalypse because they're not done. They're not done with him.
You think that they'll try to make a play where they'll revive him?
Well, look at it like this. Now, how do we know he's dead, or how do we not know that Phoenix didn't teleport him somewhere? Just like, okay, look how
But we didn't see a dead body, so you could be onto something there. I don't remember seeing a dead body. Was there a dead body?
There was no dead body. He just look how in X3, look how Xavier went, and then all of a sudden in the post-credit scene he was just. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Dude, don't get me started with that.
I know, but I'm just saying.
He opened up a whole
I'm just saying.
new can of worms.
And again, a little bit to continuity issues.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just saying.
We see him in Days of Future Past.
Yeah, I know. But you know what?
With an old Moira McTaggart. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I'm just like,
I know.
What?
I know. It's
What?
like oh, they must. So I guess he was found somewhere.
It's
you know,
true.
like
It's like what, man? Like I was just like, oh God,
because
what are you doing?
we don't know. That's the answer. We don't know what the heck is going on.
And I bet you $1 million that the director and the writer don't know either. They don't know, meaning like they know, but they don't know.
But
like because trust me when I tell you, you stop them in the street, everybody's getting those continuity error questions thrown at them.
Exactly.
And I've read a lot of their answers. I've even heard the writer Simon Kinberg, his answer to the whole thing of Mystique and the eyes from Days of Future Past, and he says something, and I just like, I'm gonna call you on that. That's bullshit. That is bullshit. I'm gonna while you're talking, I'm gonna look up the quote.
Well, he said there could be another X-Men
yeah,
movie.
but I'm just
too.
yeah, but
he said that.
There's definitely another.
There's one coming. It's gonna be taking place in the 90s. And let me tell you something. If they use that theme song, I'm gonna go bananas.
Oh,
like I want a very 90s X-Men, and if they can just make it a little bit like the cartoon, I'll accept it.
Here's my thing though. They're making that whole other Wolverine movie, even though the last one wasn't as good. Now
you didn't like the Wolverine? I thought the Wolverine was good.
Like the one where he's fighting the Silver Samurai.
Yeah.
Or like
the Silver Samurai was just like, and this is where I'm telling you that X-Men Fox and the X-Men franchise, they don't know how to portray a little. Their enemies are just done wrong sometimes. Yeah.
That's what I was gonna bring out. Gambit.
That was a little too wrong.
Why we gonna cancel? I heard there was canceling Gambit film. I'm looking. We should really need it. We need a better one.
You know what it is with Gambit? It's in the air. They got Channing Tatum. They
had
got Channing Tatum. There's a movie. Now there's no movie. Is there a script? Now
we're not looking at Magic Mike throwing playing cards. We actually need a really good Gambit.
I don't want to see a Gambit movie.
Gambit is one of the.
I think that they should just throw him in the movie.
At least bring him in, but show how
like
he was.
But I personally don't think Gambit is a good enough character to carry his own movie.
Exactly.
That's just been me.
I feel the same way.
I don't think you want to. I'm gonna actually tell you this, and this was even before the movies came out. I think Wolverine is the only person that can carry his own movie. That's why they're doing it. I don't think there's anybody in the X-Men franchise, or at least anybody that's been put on there that can build and be their own movie.
Well, X-Men has Wolverine always had that great backstory too, especially with Stryker.
His is the most rich because he's immortal, or you know what I mean, things like not immortal, but he lives longer. He's been through a lot. He's seen a lot.
He's
And
been
that's
through
one
all
of
the world wars,
Yeah, like-
Civil War. You know, like
and
he's
that's
been
one
there.
of the good things they did in X-Men Origins.
He's the poster
Wolverine,
child for
in
X-Men,
that
pretty much.
horrible movie. But
Well, I don't know about the Civil War, but like he's been like World War One, World War Two.
well, he was in Civil War.
He was in the
but,
Civil War.
But he
I'm
carries,
not. I wasn't too sure.
He carries his own story in Civil War where he is looking for the person Nitro responsible for the explosion.
Oh no,
he's
not.
Just going, but he's
I'm
not
not talking
in
about.
the
I'm
Civil
not talking
War
about the.
story.
I'm not talking about Marvel Civil War. I'm talking about the actual American Civil War.
Oh,
no, I know that. I'm
Could've
just.
been on there. He says that he's been through a lot of wars, and I'm assuming
Yeah.
he's been through all the wars.
Yeah.
He probably just got bored with the whole drama between Iron Man and Captain America.
Well, okay, but back to my
go ahead.
post-credit scene, especially when they took the vial of Weapon X. Now, have you guys are you guys up to date with the new X-Men?
What do you mean new X-Men? With the,
Like
you mean
at-
the comic book stories?
yeah.
Go right ahead. Tell us.
As far as them actually making a clone of Wolverine, and the new clone is a female,
Well, yes, that they're saying that it's X-23,
X-23.
the female Wolverine.
Yeah.
I think that's where they're going with the.
That's
vial.
exactly what I think too.
We're gonna see
Yeah,
two
that
things.
would make sense.
Mr. Sinister, and they also introduce a new character, which is taken from the blood of Wolverine, and it's a female. She goes by that code name X-23. It's a female version of Wolverine. It's literally Wolverine as a chick.
Kind of like Deathstriker almost.
Yeah, because Lady Deathstrike, yeah, like it was like her, where she's kind of like this experiment. But Lady Deathstrike, yeah, she's from the old canon, and in the new canon is a character named X-23. It's basically it's Lady Deathstrike.
But I want them to go into their full potential on it. I don't want them getting lazy
Well,
like they kind of
actually-
did with Apocalypse.
You know what it is, and that's the problem. They hold back so much, and I actually have that problem with all Marvel's movies.
Yeah. Well, they have to hold back because they
And
can't
it's
really.
fine.
Yeah.
And it's fine. But there are things that they shouldn't hold. I believe there are things that they shouldn't hold back on, and there are things that you should hold back on, because you have an audience. You want to stick to that specific audience, and you can't really. I'm not gonna crap on you for that. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? But that's why I said I have a problem with the Marvel movies, because I personally feel the two DC movies that they don't hold back.
Yeah, but just back on the X-Men thing, like I also loved how they, what they did with the Danger Room.
Yeah.
They
that was
actually
so awesome.
they actually did the Danger Room where you saw the
And
Sentinels.
you got to see it early, because the only time we got to see the Danger Room in the franchise was when?
X3.
X3. Here's my beef with the Danger Room, as awesome as it was. What came out?
The Sentinels.
Didn't they disband the Sentinels?
No, but
Oh, you think that they took the ones that got left over
well,
to use
look at
in
it.
the Danger Room?
Well, look at it like this. Look at it like this.
Or were they? Well, they're
Those are-
fake.
those- they're-
they're
yeah, they're
fake.
fake- they're
They're
fake.
fake. I keep forgetting. The Danger
Yeah,
Room, they're fake.
yeah, they're not they're not the actual Sentinels.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
they
yeah.
probably just took the blueprints and was like, you know what? Let's make the fake Sentinels. Like, no one's gonna really die here. It's just that fear factor. You
Yeah.
know, you're going against the army of Sentinels.
Yeah.
You
That's
know,
something I
That's
want to
right.
elaborate on
I
too.
thought that was very cool.
yeah.
Though that I just think it sucks that we haven't seen the Danger Room potentially. I mean, once we did, but I was like, damn, it's the Danger Room was such an awesome essential to the X-Men training facility, because we never really got to see them train.
Yeah, and then
get
you
to see them
see
get schooled. That's it.
And then you see Xavier there just looking on it. It's just like, yep, I created that, and then walks away. And the door closes. It's like, oh man,
A
he's
typical
such a
X-Men
boss.
ending.
You know, like,
Well, I want to elaborate. We talked about the Apocalypse parts.
Yeah.
There was one part I did love. It's when Magneto and Xavier were kind of communicating, and he's like thrown in the room. He has the headset on and everything, and we actually see that the room's getting destroyed. Like he's like kind of like reading into everything, and we see everything getting controlled. That was actually a cool part to me, and that's something I would have left in there. That was actually a really awesome part from Apocalypse. He wasn't weak. He wasn't recruiting, but you could tell like he was a threat.
Yeah.
And then they just did nothing with it.
Hey man, I totally. Just you know what it is at the end of the day when it comes to the X-Men franchise, I kind of wish that they just stop, just cut it off, and then start fresh. This is what I want them to do: start fresh.
Well, they tried.
No, they haven't.
Oh, what?
Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
Start fresh. Erase what they've done. Make an X-Men cinematic universe. Fox is not gonna let go of X-Men.
No,
we
they're
already
not.
know this.
Yeah, they're not.
Have a producer, like Kevin Feige, who actually oversees the entire Marvel universe. Now they actually have somebody in the DC universe, Geoff Jones, who is who's a writer of comic books in the DC world, especially Flash and stuff like that. where he is now the producer and he will oversee everything DC does now.
What about
after
Kevin
Suicide
Smith?
Squad.
He's more of a comic nerd, so he would actually know what's
He
good
knows,
with the
but
fans.
for some reason he's tried to get in and they just don't like.
He did an
what
episode of The
does.
Flash. It was
He
really well
actually
done.
He did, but
he had his nose into the Superman movie.
Years ago, he was actually supposed to be. He was the writer to be hired to write Superman. Back when Tim Burton was still going to direct a Superman movie, Tim Burton didn't like it.
Well,
He
Kevin
threw it
Smith
out.
does have his potential. I mean, like that Flash episode I told you, the second.
He did great. Yeah, he for a non-Flash episode, he did a good Flash episode. You know what I mean? But I don't know. But he's also mostly said that he's a fan to watch when it comes to superhero movies than make it himself. You know what I'm saying? So I was like, you know what? Because there's no way that they could have.
I respect that.
Yeah, all these years, and because I listened to his podcast, which is great by the way.
Yeah, he has an amazing.
He
podcast.
he has one called whatchamacallit. It's with him and this guy, Mark Bernardin, who is his
Because he knows his shit. I mean, you see him
no,
on
he
Comic
knows
Book
his
Man.
shit.
He
I
knows
love
his
it.
shit.
And he speaks. It's called Fat Man on Batman. That's what it's called. And he talks about like this week in comic book stuff in general. You know what I mean? And then he throws on as a fan, he throws his own things on there, like what he feels of how he thinks. And I love to hear another filmmaker's opinion about how he feels it should go. Like one of his big things that he has is that he wishes that DC could have just beat Marvel to the punch and make their TV characters, like the Flash, just a part of the movies.
I'm waiting for them to do that.
No, they're not going to. They already got a Flash, and they have their Aquaman. They're gonna
No,
redo
yeah,
the
no,
version.
I know, but
they're
I'm
not
just.
gonna do the TV movie, the TV show version of them.
Yeah, it's gonna be a whole different Flash.
Well,
Yeah,
they-
it's
Star.
gonna be-
in
yeah.
Justice
honestly,
League.
if you think about it, Marvel already beat them to the punch with that too.
With what?
With TV
They
characters.
have but the thing is that what they were gonna do is just say these TV shows that were out before the movies, just throw them into the pile.
Yeah.
As opposed to like having movies and then say, hey, let's make some shows. As spawning from the movies already. But what Kevin Smith was saying is actually the reverse. The TV shows were out first. Man of Steel was the only one that was out, and he was just kind of always saying like, yo, the Flash is already a Flash. Everybody loves him. Everybody's invested to him. Instead of looking for another Flash, make this guy the Flash.
Because Flash is
Like
great.
when
They
they were
stick to the
looking for
comics.
cast members.
Yeah,
you know?
it really. Yeah,
They
I
did
didn't
stick
like-
to the comics of Flash, though.
Yeah.
I really.
Oh yeah,
enjoy
they do a
Flash.
lot of cool stuff in there for the Flash.
Like-
but they have their issues on why, and I totally get it. I'm not oblivious to the things that people have a problem with, but again, even with X-Men, like it actually got poor reviews. This
What?
movie got poor reviews.
Really?
Actually,
Did
way
you look at
worse.
Rotten Tomatoes?
It's at 41. I look at it. I don't go by it, but I look at it.
Did you say it was
It's
way
at
worse?
7. It's got bad reviews. It's a Rotten Tomato. Now, see, right now it's at 48. I'm sorry, I said 41. It's at 48%. Professionally critically, and by us, the regular audience. But I don't really go with too much by this because it's kind of fickle, and I'll tell you why in a second. It's at 74, right? But this is the reason why I don't go with people critics, right? Because this is stuff that they put. I'm gonna actually quote one from you. It's hilarious. Let's see here. Someone gave it a half star, and this is the reason what they said. Where is Wolverine without him? Where is Wolverine without him? The movies do not work. Someone posted that and gave it a star before the movie ever came out. But
Yeah,
they
it must be a
count-
trend.
Flixster counts that. That dumbass thing. You say
Yeah, that
Here's
was-
this one. 3 stars. And this is what he said. 2008's The Dark Knight is my second favorite film of all time.
Just an internet troll.
No, that's exactly what that is. That's also what I'm trying to say. This is also, I saw it way before the movie came out. I saw this actually a month ago, that thing. And I also saw it in other comic book movies. He says the same thing. He gives something 3 stars that's not Dark Knight and says the exact same thing.
I think it's a trend
It's
to just
horrible.
diss movies online. I feel like it's a trend just to be cool.
Mhm.
Like I elaborated somebody online who was talking about Batman vs Superman. He could not even give me 10 points of why the movie was terrible. So it's just people online that
That's
want
why
to
I
join the
don't- when it
fun.
comes
It's always people saying, "Hey, oh, why do you like this movie? Why don't you like this movie? Oh, I just don't.
I just don't.
Oh, I just do." Like, okay, can you back up your opinion? Like,
If they
what
can
the
have an
heck?
elaborate thing, I will give it to them.
And that's why when it comes to my show, I don't want to be here I'm not criticizing anything, meaning like this is not a full-on critic. It's just like, back in the day when I would go see a movie with some friends of mine, after the theater, we go to a diner, we eat, and we bullshit the entire night, 2, 3, 4 hours at a time. on what we liked about the movie, what we didn't like about the movie, what makes the movie work, what makes the movie not work, like these things. And that's all I want to do. It's just talk about how I feel and my opinions, not critiquing, but my opinion is how I feel that the franchise is going, how the franchise is going, and what I wish and what I would hope it do.
Some people now online complain about these actors that are playing heroes like Ben Affleck with Batman, or
I thought he did an amazing.
and that's why I'm glad about the movie that's coming out.
Phenomenal job.
He killed it.
Let's look that
Oscar
Jared
Isaac,
Leto.
yeah.
It's annoying.
Another one, and I haven't even seen this movie. Jared Leto's gonna kill it.
Oh,
Okay,
absolutely.
Jared Leto's gonna kill it.
The cast members are already scared. They said that he was
he's
terrifying.
in a trailer, and I love him.
Yeah.
Okay, just like Ben Affleck was in Batman vs Superman trailers, I loved him right away.
He's
Just has that crazy streak. He just looks so crazy.
And I think Will Smith could do a great Deadshot.
I personally think so. With great direction, he will. I think that they will give the performances that they are going to.
Everyone is.
Who does not like Harley Quinn right now?
Oh my god.
And she doesn't. We don't even know anything.
She has a bigger fan base than the Joker does.
Of a character, 2 minutes. How she's gonna be.
She just melts me.
Look at the TV shows like Gotham. The guy who's playing the guy who plays the Penguin, perfect person.
Oh my god! Don't even get me started with
Edward
that.
Nygma. Like you have the
yeah.
best people.
Yeah.
Bruce Wayne, Ivy.
They're doing a good
The
job.
girl playing
that
Selena.
Show, that Gotham is just a horrible show, man.
You don't like Gotham?
No, I'm just messing.
And it's fine too if you don't like it. I totally get it. But me and my girlfriend, we watch it. We watch it religiously. She left to Puerto Rico, and I couldn't watch it until she got back.
I'm dying to catch up with
we're
season finale.
We're 2 episodes behind, but we literally caught up. We were watching it because she was gone for a whole month. So I had 4 weeks of stuff. We saw 2 episodes, 2 more to go, and then after that we got to finish Legends again, 4 episodes.
Wait until the finale. You'll get to enjoy that
Yeah, I
finale.
can't wait
Well
to- I
done.
can't
Well
wait to
written.
see it.
I can't wait to see it.
But
Sticking with X-Men though,
Mhm.
we just went completely far.
That's
away.
what
I want to talk about the acting of some of these movies.
When you talk about
Yeah,
that,
I know,
and
but
you just end up going to other places.
Well, just because
I
I
don't
love
know,
the
I-
acting of it.
Yeah.
Like,
I
a
don't
lot of
have a
people
pro-
like
I don't have a
these.
problem with with them doing like the remakes of X-Men as cartoons. But like the movie, they gotta be very careful with the next movie because I mean, in my opinion, they have with the next X-Men movie, they have to be very careful.
You think so? Because technically, money-wise, they're not in a bad place.
No, I know.
And the thing is that
it's sad.
studios, they go by how much the
I
money
know-
is.
yeah,
what do
I
you
know.
think? I personally, I can't stand any of the Transformers movies, but who am I to tell them
I know.
that they gotta stop? Why? Because their last movie made up over $1 billion.
Because
okay,
we-
so as long as you make those movies, go right ahead.
We love watching robots kick the crap out of each other.
Exactly.
We love it.
Yeah,
Or
even
X-
even if you make a crappy movie, as long as they're fighting and people are
And
saying,
not only that, but it's the
Do you think they're
nostalgic.
gonna? Do you think they're
thing
gonna add
about
more of the
Transformers.
X-Men to the next one, like
have to.
Iceman,
I-
Pyro? I want to see more Pyro since X2.
Well, I don't think we're gonna see Iceman unless they want to f this continuity up again. Because how old was Iceman in the first X-Men movie?
Yeah.
Well, you don't have to use him, you know.
Huh? Yeah,
Yeah.
but he was like 15 years old. So if they wanted to respect their timeline just a little bit, they can't use him. If it were me, it'd be in the 90s, and you got to add more Gambit. Right?
Yeah, this is where
Um,
Gambit comes in.
A Jubilee that works.
Wait, I thought she was a good Jubilee.
She is in there, but that's why I said a Jubilee that works. Something that a Jubilee that actually is doing something other than just being in a car, parading around.
I don't know. Well, that's what Jubilee was anyway.
What she do? In the original cartoon, they gave her a bit of purpose. Believe it or not,
She was able to make
She
fireworks.
was the youngest of the X-Men.
She was the youngest. She was the adolescent, but she could blow things up with
Yeah.
sparks.
Yeah.
That's why I said a working Jubilee would be nice. That's why one that works, one that's actually doing something. Quicksilver's definitely in it, so we don't have to say.
I want to see what they elaborate with him and Magneto, like that once.
I don't sleep on that. I will suspect that we will get You're My Daddy, Darth Vader.
So I'm trying to think
I
of
don't
Mag.
think-
I wonder if Magneto even
I
knows
don't
about
think
this.
Magneto
yet.
would even care. To be honest.
This is actually another beef I have, and here it goes. Why the hell can't we have Magneto to be a villain?
I was actually just thinking about this yesterday.
Why can't
I
Magneto
loved him
be a
as a
villain?
villain.
Well, we did in Days of Future Past. I thought he was a fantastic
For like
villain.
a second, and
But-
then they let him go. It's,
He's more of a good guy in a lot of them, though.
yes, even now it even ended.
All
with
three of
him
them.
being a good guy. It's like
Like the first two X-Men, when
I
he
think
was
the
unstoppable.
first X-Men movie was like literally Magneto bad guy. That's it. But then it was like in
That's
the gray area, and then he's like a victim, and then he's like, we gotta feel sorry for him.
We definitely
and
had a
then
better
he's the good
Sabretooth, too,
guy.
back
It's
in the
like,
day.
Come on. And now Mystique is a good guy.
always thought she
well,
was.
she's always been the gray area.
No,
She was always
she's
Magneto's
a straight
little
up villain.
sidekick.
The movies,
In what?
new movies now made her a great
Wait,
character.
whoa, no! In the comics, she was always gray.
You know what it is? Maybe you read other comics that I just always remember her as being a villain. I never.
She was mostly a villain, but there were sometimes
She
where
was just
she would
always
actually,
a part of the Brotherhood. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but like even then, like she always had her moments where it's like, okay, you're definitely not a villain.
I
at
mean,
that
granted,
point.
she was casted out in X3 because she quote unquote lost her powers. Another problem I have with the X-Men franchise.
Okay.
Now they show Magneto get his powers. They told us that powers are not suppressed. I mean, powers are suppressed. They don't lose them. They thought they lose them, but they really don't. Magneto did move the little chess piece in X3, but Rogue never got to experience her powers coming back because she didn't want them back. If you remember in X3, she was happy as
I don't consider
shit
that a rogue.
that she didn't have her powers.
That was definitely not a rogue.
So Anna Paquin.
Yet again. Here we go. Now the real Rogue was also influenced by guess who? Apocalypse.
There you go.
There you go. There it is.
There you go.
There it is. So it's like, you know,
She was a horseman once, wasn't she?
She was about to be, I think. If I can remember correctly, she was gonna be, but you know.
Well, they could have done so much with that recruiting. They could have made him. I wanted to see Magneto. You would have saw Magneto's power, and it
this
was
is actually what I was thinking. I was like, when I was watching the recruitments and all that shit, and I said to myself, you know what? I'm loving this recruitment stuff. But I'm like, how long is this movie? I know it's 2 hours and 16 minutes, but aren't we kind of like getting to the end of this? Is Apocalypse gonna do anything?
That was my problem with it. It's like
it was just him going to people's houses saying, "Do you want to donate and help me out here?"
Pretty much.
The whole time.
He was like literally the X-Men universe.
It was like a 12-year-old kid with a UNICEF box.
Exactly.
Like, do you have a moment to talk about the power of Apocalypse?
At least showed him like really powerful. I mean, I feel like the only person that was really, besides Xavier, was Magneto after him and throwing stuff at him.
All that.
Beast got him. Beast got his ass thrown.
What was he doing with all that debris? It was just kind of like
he was sending it.
No, but it was just like doing stuff. It wasn't like they had no purpose other than eye candy.
Actually, no. I thought he was sending it up into space.
Was he? It didn't look like it. It looked like
well,
it was
just
where
where
like going up and down. Like all I saw was like circular motion.
I was really hoping for those nukes to start landing on the Earth.
Yeah, and he didn't do that. It was like, I'm going to rid all of nukes, so that doesn't make you a bad guy, because that's actually a good thing. But he said, I'm going to eradicate all these problems, so I will be the problem.
Yeah, and I thought that, but thought that
and
was.
I was invested. But I was like, you weren't even a problem, not even once.
I was like, saying that I'm like, oh, maybe they're gonna lead it to the age of Apocalypse, you know, with those nukes going off.
Yeah.
You know, like I was about to.
That
be
would have
like,
been a cool
holy
ending,
crap.
though. Even if they left that as a cliffhanger.
And there it goes again, where the people that are sitting in our audience to watch these movies, they can't comprehend that, and literally having an apocalypse, you know, to say the least, with his name. When you hear the name that he's Apocalypse, dude, he is the end times. He is the end times. He will be the life after the end, and you will follow. Whoever survives will follow. That sounds awesome.
But that was the message that I was supposed to be getting.
But when it comes to movie forms, I just don't feel like they can. I feel like they're restricted. This is, and still to this day, even though that they show comic book movies way better than it was in the year 2000. You know what I mean? 20,000 times better comic book movies are a lot better. Quality, story-wise, everything. But at the end of the day, the studios say comic books are for kids.
How dare these people?
You know, and that's fine.
Not anymore.
Because they're the ones, but that's fine. Believe it or not, kids are the ones that bring the money to make more movies.
I don't know.
The
if
Walking
studios
Dead's still a
even
comic.
read it,
Well,
picked
much.
up a comic
Yeah,
because.
but that's an adult from the jump.
Yeah,
You
so
know what I
comic
mean?
books aren't for kids
for
then.
instance, like, I want to show my kid. I want to show my nephew. I want to show him Deadpool so bad, but I'm not gonna. He's 10 years old. I'm not gonna do it.
If I handed you one of my comic books that I have, the Ultimate X-Men Volume 1. If I handed that to you and you read it, you would absolutely say this is not for kids.
Yeah, but I totally get that. You know what I mean? Because they have those adult ones that are angled to them. That I'm pretty sure that if a kid went in there and bought that one, they would be like, nah.
Like when you see
They're not gonna
Wolverine,
sell kids Deadpool.
Because you got to think, there's things like for Marvel, The Punisher, way graphic. You already know that's not always for kids.
No, not at
You
all.
got Let me see. Deadpool, obviously. You got
So,
Blade. You
but
got
But they do it, and I love using this word, but they kidify it, and they're gonna kidify it because they bring more butts to the seats. PG-13 brings more butts to the
And
seats.
they can make more toys
It's-
off
It
of
make
it,
more
too.
toys. Like, what? Do you see any Deadpool toys for kids? No. You know that all the commercials for the Blu-ray for Deadpool were after 9.
That's true.
You know what I mean? There's a banner, a poster that I saw for the DVD release in Manhattan somewhere that says, "Wait till you get a load of me." You can double play that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You can double play. Wait till you get a load of me for Deadpool. You know what I mean? But you know, my nephew Julian, he saw my shirt because I wore this yesterday. He goes, "Oh, I love Deadpool." I'm like, "How do you love Deadpool?" He goes, "He's my favorite." I'm like, "Did you see the movie?" He goes, "No, but I know he's cool, and I know he likes tacos." But I was like, you know what? If they could make a cartoon series where Deadpool is just fighting robots and eating tacos and chimichangas, then maybe.
You know, they used Deadpool in video games, and he was normal. He wasn't like.
No, but that was an
anything.
M-rated game, though.
Like the Ultimate Alliance.
Oh, he was, yeah, but that's fine because as long as they have him fighting robots,
'Cause
and
he
he's
has
only
some
beheading
moments.
robots and not people, we're
Yeah,
okay.
but have you played the Deadpool game?
The Deadpool.
No, I don't play.
M-rated
I
game?
don't play any games
Yeah,
based
you
on
do-
the
it's very
movies.
savage. It's pretty savage. Like I can't have my kid.
Is it
or
really
my
that
nephew.
bad?
It's
Yeah.
'Cause
M-rated.
I don't like to play because I thought it was based on the movie, so I don't want to.
No, it's not based on the movie. They made their own. They made their own standalone game.
I mean,
But
some
the
of them do good,
influence
though.
Of the movie, I was like, hey, if the movie's gonna be R-rated, let's make a mature-rated Deadpool game, and that's what they did.
But I have more to say about the X-Men.
Tell me more about
Because when I left that theater, everything was just going through my head, especially when you saw the post-credit. Because the post-credit is actually very important to what's going to happen next, and it's like. You have Mr. Sinister, and
He's
Mr.
definitely coming. You don't use the Essex Corp without.
You don't drop that without Mr. Sinister. You know what I'm saying? Like
Yeah.
you know, like it's just it like literally. I couldn't go to sleep last night because of this, sadly, because it's like look at the potential for the next movie. Do you know where Cable comes from?
The future.
The future, but do you know who Cable is though?
Yes, he is the son of Cyclops and Jean Grey.
The clone of Jean Grey.
I was about to
The
reference
clone
Cable.
of Jean Grey, which is like
I'm gonna show around the room the picture of Mr. Sinister and the version that I don't believe we'll ever get. Maybe just a tad. But this is Mr. Sinister. He is Nathaniel Essex that runs the Essex Corporation. And it's a great picture. Just look it up on Google, guys. Anybody that's listening, just look it up on Google. Type in Mr. Sinister. I don't even think you have to put Marvel, but you can put Mr. Sinister Marvel, and you'll see pictures of Mr. Sinister, and you'll be flabbergasted. He looks awesome, but I don't believe we'll get that. But maybe we are because, like I said, Apocalypse is actually the first villain that they've actually used where he actually kind of looks the most that he can possibly look from the comic books. I was satisfied. Though he was the blue, he had makeup all the way. You know, he literally what we can get, he looked like him. You know what I mean? So maybe we can get Mr. Sinister, but I think we're gonna get him in the last half hour. That's literally my feelings towards that. I think we're gonna see Nathaniel Essex the entire time.
Yeah.
So they're still trying to cast Cable still, so we don't know what's going on yet.
Well,
with
Cable's
that.
going to Deadpool.
Well, we know that, but we
I
don't
know if he. Yeah, because
no one knows who's
but,
casting him.
I don't believe we'll ever see him in the X-Men franchise.
No.
I don't even think we'll even see him in Old Man Logan. That's the most futuristic movie they have that they will.
I was just glad we saw some X-Men people in Deadpool. That was actually the best part.
Yeah,
I thought.
to see Colossus and also to see Negasonic Teenage Warhead, which is a character I never thought that actually would ever get to be in the X-Men franchise.
So I would like to
at all.
see them.
And they changed their powers. They changed what she is. But yes, I felt when I walked in, I wasn't emotionally attached to any of the characters either in Apocalypse.
Except for me, Quicksilver. I thought
Yeah, Quicksilver, they got him.
that
on
was
board.
perfect.
And I did cringe when he got his leg broken. I was like, oh, that
I
really
mean,
sucks.
I think the highlight point besides the fight scene that he had with Apocalypse is the part when the building's coming apart and you just see him like,
It was-
taking
oh
everybody
my God, it was
apart.
phenomenal. It
Like
was
you said, the
phenomenal.
dog party.
It was phenomenal.
There was some
The
scenes
dog,
to
the
giggle at.
people he took.
I wasn't a believer in the new Cyclops.
You mean in the prequel Cyclops? You didn't like his trainee version?
You know what I'm saying? Because let's just take it back a notch with the original trilogy of X-Men.
Mm-hmm.
That was a very good
No,
Cyclops.
that guy who played him was great.
The thing is that different. That's an adult, and we're seeing the kid.
Yeah, but
You
still,
know what I
like,
mean? You don't think that he can grow
Yeah,
up
it's true
to
because he just
be-
meets Gene.
to
Yeah.
be that guy in the future?
I don't know. I mean, I just don't know. Like,
Well, we'll know in 10 years. We're going to see literally a 10-year-old veteran now because he's not going to be a student anymore.
Cause that's because in the old ones,
'Cause
Gene
he's,
Grey
what,
and him
15,
already.
16 years old. He's going to be a 26-year-old guy in this movie. Roughly. 25, 26-year-old guy. He should be able to be
now here's my other. Here's another question I have. Now, let's say they didn't go around, you know, the whole let's clone Wolverine. You know what I'm saying? Let's say they didn't do that, or maybe they do, but it's not gonna be the female X-23. It's gonna be a Wolverine, but just a different actor. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I
Like,
totally get you. But this is the reason why I think it will be X-23. Right now, in comic book universe, I don't know if you noticed, like I said, I think they all borrow from each other.
they do. They have to.
There's no way that you could have done the Wonder Woman scene, the Spider-Man scene, and the Wolverine scene in the same year and not say you took it from each other.
Yeah.
That's not a coincidence. There's no way that that's a coincidence.
It's like, hey, you stole that scene from me,
but
or
this is
did
the
I?
reason why, again, because where it's going, X-23 will be in the next film, and the reason why is because women superheroes are all the rage right now. Wonder Woman is getting a movie next year.
That's true. That's true.
There's rumors going around about Black Widow getting her own movie very soon. Not next year, but soon it's in the pipe. But we love Black Widow. We're in love with her.
we
Black
love
Widow.
Scarlett Johansson.
Scarlet Witch, I thought was great.
What
What about
Black Widow next to her?
What about Scarlet Witch? I thought she was great.
But,
I would love to see more of
Scarlet's,
that.
again, another one. Scarlet Witch, we're loving her.
Not a movie,
We're
but
loving the
Elektra.
female. Yeah.
Perfect Elektra, not that Jennifer Gardner
The
garbage.
Daredevil Elektra. Yeah, we're falling in love with female characters being in our superhero movies, and they're giving them good justice.
I really
actually can say
want,
that.
but my
so that's why I
dream.
think that X-Men is going to get a
My
female
dream
now.
is to see Tom Hardy take a shot at Logan. If I
To
mean,
be
ju-
low, see, but this is what I'm trying to tell you, that I think it's time for X-Men franchise to take a stop.
Maybe
Hugh Jackman is done. They're not gonna. I personally don't want him to replace him and be the same.
But you don't want to see
Wolverine.
how. But you don't want
I'm
to.
saying cut it off. Be done with it. Let's make a new. They gotta wipe it clean. They wipe it clean and tell. We live in a different age. They're still going from the same age from 2000. That's why they're kind of giving us not only hits but misses.
Now here's my thing.
Just cut it off.
Now
It's like a TV show. Cancel it.
yeah, but did they try that with not Days of Future Past but First Class? Didn't they have the shot to do that?
Yes, but what did they do that was their fault? They still relied on the old movies.
In Days of Future Past.
And also in First Class.
And
Who's
how?
who's in the cameo in there?
Oh, I keep forgetting that
Hugh
scene.
Jackman plays
yeah.
a cameo.
But that was like a 2-second scene.
Which still doesn't matter. Like if
Yeah.
you want to go fresh, you got to get everybody off. You can't use the old cast.
That's
Just
true.
because Hugh Jackman makes a good Wolverine, he's not
could
the
still
only
have
Wolverine.
other-
They can get someone else.
You still can have all these characters back.
He's the
from
only
old
Wolverine in
movies.
my
Have different cast
He's the
members.
only Wolverine in
Toad.
my heart, though.
I know, but come on. Michael Keaton's not the only Batman.
Exactly.
Christian Bale's not the only Batman. We can see that other people that
And there's
take
other
the
people that
mantle.
do great.
Let me ask you something. Have you seen a bad Batman yet?
Val Kilmer.
He had a good voice.
What?
Their movies were bad, but I don't think they were bad. bad.
Yeah, he
I
was
think
definitely bad.
George Clooney
Did
was.
you- would-
I
go
think he was in bad movies. But I
Go
don't think
home.
they were bad
Go
bad
home and go home and
I'll
watch
never
that
watch
movie.
it ever again. I saw
I
it in
thought
theaters
so.
and that was good enough. It was a bad. It wasn't because oh my God, Val Kilmer, you're such a bad Batman.
He wasn't a believable
It was
Batman.
How comic book movies were made. They had no real respect for the actual canon.
But they're still memories. We still grew up with those, so in a way, we still respect
Now, as a
them.
matter of fact, wait, y'all grew up with that. I was too old for that. I'm gonna be honest with you, and I was but I'm not saying that I didn't see them. Because this is the thing. You guys grew up watching those movies at home. You had the little VHS or whatever. I saw those movies in the theaters, and I wanted to be like, I need to leave. I need to leave. It was so bad.
Well, we were kids, so like growing up watching that stuff, it really didn't phase us like as if we watched it now, and it phases us now. You
And
know,
say,
like,
what the hell? What the hell was
Yeah,
I thinking?
like,
I
I
was
have-
already saying that in the theaters. I come out and I go, what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah, you know,
I
like-
want my $6 back because that's how much it costs to go into the theaters.
Oh,
when I
man.
saw
Oh
it.
man, how it raised.
Congratulations on making yourself sound more ancient than you
But
really are.
This is my, just to end it, my beef is I want them to do with the X-Men franchise what Marvel did and Sony did with the Spider-Man franchise. They said, we're going to put these guys in the MCU, so you know what that means? Amazing Spider-Man has been canceled. We're fired. I knew at the moment that they said, "Oh, he's coming to the MCU." I was like, Andrew Garfield, you're fired. About the X-Men franchise, kill that whole thing. Start fresh. Give us all new characters. Don't do the same movie. Please don't do the same movie. Make part 1. Start fresh. Let everybody get reintroduced. Let's start and actually have an X-Men team every movie, because that's a problem. Also, you're never really kind of like invested in any team in any of the movies. You've never been invested. Were you invested in? Can you name me 5 X-Men that were in 3 movies?
Consistently?
The first 3 movies. Yeah.
No, he has a point. It's not the same. Never the same team.
Give me the 3 movies where all the X-Men that you met in the first one are still X-Men in the third one, and they're still going strong, even if they added new members, but those guys are still there.
But that was the thing with the X-Men. They never had a consistent crew.
I didn't have that problem. In the cartoon, I didn't have that problem.
No.
Obviously, they had a reason why. In the comic books, I don't feel like I have that problem. They weren't swapping out X-Men like freaking playing cards.
Not consistently like you see in the movies, but they do swap them.
Yes, and that's totally fine. But the thing is that you're never invested. Like, for instance, you have been invested with the Avengers. You know who the Avengers were. In 2 movies, they were Avengers until the end of the second one. Then they kind of split them up, and now you had a whole new team. Which again, you were still also invested, because in Civil War you were still invested on that team, and now there's this other team, and now they have like a whole thing. But you're invested in a team. There's a team. You could tell. I could tell you right now who was in Captain America's team in Civil War.
Nobody.
What do you mean nobody? He had a team.
I know.
And you were invested. And
it was.
But even so, like, it's just like, who the team was in the first movie. That same exact team was in the second movie. You understand what I'm saying? Till the end. But you got invested in 2 movies with the same team. You got to be familiar with them. It was solid. And X-Men, you don't get that. You don't
got
feel
Falcon.
invested.
You got your buddy
Anybody's
Bucky.
an Huh?
No, you were talking about the Captain America team. I'm like, yeah, you got Falcon. You got Bucky.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. And they added them, but even at the end of Age of Ultron, you got to see who that new team was before the movie ended. You're like, all right, cool. Scarlet Witch, Falcon, in War Machine, they got to be a part of the group.
I feel like it's just a quick thing on that. I feel like everybody was on Team Iron Man.
No, it should be Team Captain America.
I was on Team Captain
America.
For another
I was Team Iron Man.
Yeah, just want to throw that out there.
Team
That's
Stark.
my opinion about the X-Men franchise. Like I said, clean slate, erase the good, and also there's more bad than good in X-Men. I don't know if you guys will agree with me. There's more bad and good inside the X-Men franchise. On my Facebook page, you'll be able to listen to, just put your own opinion on what you think about the X-Men franchise. Should they keep going? Should they just erase it and start fresh and actually make a cinematic universe that's respected? Let us know. But quickly, just answer me. What do you feel? Do you think they should keep going?
Absolutely.
And not erase the timeline?
Nah, they shouldn't. Like, just keep going. They already messed up with that, so they could fix it in a sense, but they should just keep going. If they keep it up, I'm a big X-Men fan.
Got you.
You know, cinematic, animated, comics.
Awesome.
I love X-Men, so they should just keep going.
Sean, what about you?
Definitely keep going, but as long as they don't destroy anything, don't break. If it's not broke, don't fix it.
Next.
I think they should just keep going forward.
Oh, wow,
they already messed up. They can figure out how to fix it and keep going forward, because there's going to be a new crowd of people coming in. They're not going to. A lot of them don't know what's going on with the storyline. Some of them don't follow the comic books, so they might as well just keep going and I guess fix it for the people that do follow it.
Poor Karen hasn't had an opinion this whole time. We were here for 2 hours, and now she just pops up out of nowhere.
Magically.
Yeah.
What about you, Cindy?
Well, I'm on team keep going.
Team keep
with
going.
Wow. So yeah, I love X-Men, just like John mentioned and Sean. Like I'm a big X-Men fan, so I would like to see them, even though they've already messed up on certain things, like either try to like somehow fix it, but don't leave questions unanswered, like with the whole
that was just one
the
movie
Stryker
to
and
the thing with Stryker, that was just one movie
you know,
to the next.
don't leave
That
your
wasn't
fans
like a
guessing
long time ago.
on what happened.
Yeah, obviously saw it was Mystique, and now there's no Mystique.
If you
stuff.
didn't point that out, I don't think anybody would have caught on to that.
But I'm saying it because it's like, if we're trying to tell me to keep investing in these movies back to back to back with, come on. The Marvel Cinematic Universe is doing it, and they're doing it flawlessly. And there's 16 movies in, including Apocalypse. X-Men is only 9 movies in, and they keep there you have it, folks. I am in an island of myself where I can just wish they erase this horrible tragedy and just they start fresh. You know what I mean? But thank you for having us on the show. It was great to have all you guys on the show. This is Lewis.
Your boy John.
Your boy Sean.
That's the horror
Karen.
guy.
Cindy, aka Cece.
This has been another episode, an awesome episode of What the Hell Did We Just Watch? Goodbye, everybody. Say peace, yo.
Peace, yo.
Peace.
Goodbye.